Hello. I just wanted to share a few things. Uh, Oftentimes, when I've been talking to people, this thing that I'm going to share has come up a lot. So sometimes I feel like, well, that's a sign that I'm using it a lot, and maybe other people could find it helpful as well. So, in these really uncertain times, I know my anxiety has been up. The uncertainty sort of triggers things, and it sort of comes at me at all different times. And one of the techniques that I've really found the most helpful has come from this book. I don't know if it'll be backwards, but yeah, I think it is backwards. The Happiness Trap. And it's by Russ Harris. And it's based on what's called ACT, Acceptance Commitment Therapy. And most of the simplest way to describe it is that it's about learning to accept my feelings and thoughts. And they have two ways of doing that, using diffusion for disidentifying with your thoughts, and expansion when I'm experiencing an uncomfortable feeling. So I give it lots of room to be where it is. The point is not for those thoughts, negative thoughts or negative and uncomfortable feelings to go away. It's about learning to accept them. It's not even about learning, it's experiencing having the experience of acceptance. So I stop the struggle. And as a byproduct, sometimes those thoughts and feelings do dissipate, sometimes they don't. That's not the reason why I'm doing it. And then what I choose to do once that sort of struggle has stopped is in the book, you go through a list and you understand what your values are, and then you take action towards um, those values. You take action based on those values. So for me, an example is if I'm feeling very, very anxious, and I have thoughts that are going through my mind, like, oh my God, it's never going to work out. I'm going to be poor. My husband and I are going to lose our house, etc. And it just goes like that. There's a whole bunch of different diffusion techniques. And I love them because what it means is that at the moment I am fused with those thoughts. I'm so identified with those thoughts that all I feel and think uh, is ruminating around that thought. And then the diffusion techniques allow me a little distance. So one of the diffusion techniques is actually putting it to a song. So if it's like, oh my God, I'm going to be poor, I put it to Jingle Bells. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh dear, I'm going to be poor, I'm going to be poor. Now, I'm not a good singer, but anyway. And so it gives us sort of recognizing that these are just thoughts. And the other one is sometimes visual, where I picture it sort of like a keystone cop kind of thing, where I'm running around and feeling that the sky's falling down, and whatever picture that sort of gives to me visually. And it, it somehow allows me to have a little bit of distance from it. And then expansion is like when I'm feeling that really, let's say, that gnawing anxiety or something, and it's in my stomach, just being curious, like a scientist, to find out what it looks like, where it is, what it's about. It's not to dive into it, not to cling to it, but it's to just be aware and be present to it. And then let's say I've got to go to work. Then what I do is one of my values is I want to be reliable. So I look at my date book and I've got, let's say, a Zoom meeting at 9 o'clock. Whether I'm still feeling anxious or not, I move along and I continue to go and build up life built on my values. I'm not sure if I've made it very clear, but it's sort of those three parts. It's using my values to dictate my action, and it's using diffusion techniques or expansion techniques to allow myself to accept whatever is going on. And the values then I can move towards once I've done that, and it makes it much easier. So I really recommend the book. There's lots of free resources on the website as well. And I really just highly recommend it as a tip for learning how to manage anxiety. Really can be managing any kind of discomfort, uncomfortable feeling. And you don't have to have an official mental illness. It can be just dealing with stress, which I'm sure most of us are right now. Okay, thanks, and see you again.